So playoffs then, Sam, and we've already essentially both picked our third and fourth place pick. We've both got Ipswich and Southampton. Most of the world have had West Brom finishing fifth for about 3 months already. So it'll be no surprise to you that I've got West Brom fifth. I'll just read up from eighth. Calm down, Hull fans. It doesn't mean I hate your club. I had some very babyish comments on my video. I've got Hull in eighth. And just to those Hull fans that wanted to scream and shout at me, if Hull finish sixth and get in the playoffs, I'll be really happy for them. I have nothing against them. And whoever finished sixth, well done. I've got Coventry in seventh, Sam, just on the basis of the chaos with the FA Cup final, that they're just going to be playing, other than Southampton, they're going to be playing more football than anybody. So I have Norwich City in sixth position in a playoff semi-final against Ipswich. And I have West Brom in fifth in a playoff semi-final against Southampton.
Where do you want me to start?
Maybe Coventry and Coventry, Hull, Norwich. That to me is that. I know a lot of Preston fans got pissed off with me for saying, what about Preston? I'm just giving my opinion that I think those three are the best suited. And again, if whoever finishes sixth, I'll give a standing ovation and say congratulations to. I don't hate your clubs, everybody. Stop being so flaky in the comments. Anyway, rant over, Sam.
I think I've been nice enough about Coventry City over the years to upset them today. So I'm going to put them eighth. I'm going to put them eighth, and that's
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to put them eighth just purely. I think it'll be. I've got a, quite clear idea of who my sixth position is going to be. I don't really know seventh and eighth. I think Hull's games are better. I think that the potential to have Delap coming back to kind of be that focal point, be a proper striker, which I think they've lacked.
Game against each other, Sam, as well. I think four before the end of the season, they play each other, Hull and Coventry.
I'm purely basing this on the backlog for Coventry. I think they played the top three, I'm right in saying, or three of the top four. So they've got tricky games. And whether, physically it plays a big part, you can put that to one side, because I think emotionally playing an FA Cup semi-final plays a big part. And there's no getting away from it now. They're going to have microphones shoved in their grids for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, before and after that game, all the stories, all the emotion that goes with it. And listen, these experienced boys that have all played at Wembley, or quite a large chunk of them. I say a large chunk. I think there's only 2 starters or something remain at Coventry from that playoff final. I think I read something like that. Yeah, maybe Sheaf and Bidwell, maybe, or 2 players that played in the last game. You catch my drift. It's a much changed team. And I don't want to say it's a transitional season because they're flying at the moment, but I think they'll be well set to have a great crack at promotion next year, especially with the way that Hadji Wright and Ellis Sims are going right now. And they could still be difference makers. What I say here is probably going to have zero bearing on what happens in reality. But for the purposes of this and where we are right now, I'll have Coventry in 8th and I will have Hull City in 7th. I think the home form is probably ultimately going to cost Hull. Obviously, 4 recent draws as well on the spin. And I think, the bigger picture will probably be, maybe that lack of an out-and-out striker as well as another ingredient. Had they had Delap, another over the last month, maybe some of those points would have been turned into maximum return. So, So I'll just go for them to finish above Coventry because the better games, I think, as well. The better games ahead. One thing I did want to flag, part of my reasoning for Norwich to be in my 6th position, Hull have not been anyone by a greater margin than 1 goal since the 16th of December. And people will say, it's good game management and they're winning the tight games and they're defensively superb. In that time, Norwich have beaten teams by more than 1 goal on 6 occasions, Coventry on 5 occasions. And I just think that kind of leads me into just say where Norwich are right now with that full complement maybe of attacking players, minus Jonathan Rowe, available. I think
he might be back for the playoffs. I know we're talking about regular season.
we could have been talking about Norwich having what, I don't know, 10 more points than where they are now. I don't know. But, had they had Sargent and Barnes and Rowe, whenever I've seen them this year and they've looked a little bit off it, it's because they've had lack of numbers. And when you look at that bench still now for Norwich, I think another couple of injuries. Well, a couple of injuries again to important players that could really hinder their chances, I think. But at the moment, with their better players available, you look at the goals for, I think there's a bit to make up there as well. Certainly, they're a lot superior than Hull in that department. I think it's a bit closer between them and Coventry. But if it was to come down to that, they've got some making up to do. So for that reason, Sargent, the emergence of Saints really in the last few weeks, the team looks good all of a sudden, and probably that old cliche of some really good experienced guys that have been in this position before.
Sam, Norwich get a sniff of promotion, you know what happens, don't you?
Yeah, and I think it does play in, like a game away from home, 3 or 4 games to play when you got Barnes and Kenny McLean, people like that around the dressing room. These guys aren't going to be fazed by it going down to the wire. So I think they'll probably have enough to finish 6th is my decision this morning.
So we agree 3, 4, 5, 6. Sam and I disagree. We've got Hull and Coventry.
Just done it for giggles, mate. Just done it for giggles this morning.
You're going to have some tearful Preston fans, but my take is just a bit short squad wise compared to the other teams they're up against, and he's done a good job.
Yeah, I think it's been like that, hasn't it? Sorry, I'm not in the. It's been so up and down this season. I think there's, even the most ardent of Preston North End supporters who go every week would have had periods where they've been probably thinking it's about time for a change. I think Ryan Lowe's faced loads of criticism, despite having that unbelievable start to the season. So just showed you how badly the performances tailed off. So to get back going and have a shout still, I think is remarkable. But yeah, I don't think they've got the quality ultimately, probably to match Norwich. And obviously they're coming from slightly deeper than the other 2 teams at the moment.
I agree. Norwich have to go to Preston, so we will come on here if Preston turn Norwich over and win that 6-pointer. Yeah, this is the thing. Don't get too fragile in the comments. We will react every single week to what happens. We're just telling you how we see it right now.